Hi guys, my name is Akshita and today I'm going to talk to you about target audience. This is the second video in the presentation basic series. If you haven't seen the first one, I suggest you watch that as well. In the first video, we spoke about components of a presentation. We saw a brief outline of everything, and in this video, we're going to elaborate upon the first component, which is target audience. So let's start. It is the people that you're going to present to that forms your target audience. And believe me, your target audience is very important. Here's why. So with everything that you do, you're supposed to have a goal, right? With your presentation, I ask you, what is your goal? Do you want to get good grades? Or do you want to deliver information? Do you want to sell your product? Or do you want to plant an idea in somebody's head? Or do you just want to convince them of something? Whatever it may be, your presentation will serve as a means to some end. This end will involve people because the very definition of a presentation is that you take an idea and you present it to some audience, to some people. So no matter how beautiful your presentation is, how well you structure it, how well you design it, how well researched it is, or how good you deliver it, if you fail to get through to your audience, it amounts to a bad presentation, no matter what. Look at this guy. Do you think you will get through to this guy? Not at all. This guy is not interested in what you have to say. And might I also remind you that the people in your audience don't owe you anything. They don't owe you their time, their energy, their attention, or the little space in their brains. They don't owe you any of that. But you still need to grab it. You need to grab their attention. How do you do that? Well, the best way to do that would be to present what your audience cares about, what they're interested in, what they value. Now, this is not to say that you change the subject of your presentation. You just take another angle. Take a different angle. Take an angle your audience will understand and be interested in. Connect your audience to your topic. For example, say you're a team leader of a design team in Delhi and you want to take a trip with your team to Shimla. When you talk to your team members about it, you would say something like, "Oh, let's go there. It'll be fun. We'll have this cultural exchange. We'll go to different places. We'll eat the local food. We'll talk to local people. It'll be great." But now that you have to take this idea to your superiors, you wouldn't say these things. You would talk about what interests them. Say you would talk about how it benefits the company. It would boost employee morale. You could say that after you come back from the trip, you would take the trip as a source of inspiration and you'll come up with the design collection. Then of course, you would present them with hard, solid facts about your journey, how much money it would cost, what would be the exact route you're taking, etc. So again, you're talking about the same subject, but the entire course of your presentation changes as your target audience changes. Now, anytime you find yourself blue with the daunting task of having to make a presentation, I want you to picture this room. I want you to look at all these empty seats and I want you to ask yourself this question. Who fills these chairs for you? Who is your target audience? Another thing I want you to consider is your relationship with your audience. For example, let's say your audience is a bunch of college students. Now, who are you? Are you also a college student? Or are you a college professor? Are you a guest lecturer? Or are you there to sell them some product? This also decides the course and the overall tone of your presentation. As a general rule, you must always be very respectful and very considerate of not only your audience, but also your relationship with them. So let's just have a quick recap then. The first thing we spoke about was knowing your audience. The second thing was to take a perspective relevant to them, that is your audience. And finally, the third point was to consider your relationship with the audience and factor it in your presentation. If you keep these in mind, I hope, and in fact, I know that you will find a room full of audience as keen and as interested as this one. So thank you so much. I hope that you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something from it. If you did like it, please consider liking and also subscribing. For more videos on the presentation basics series, you can check out the playlist on your screen right now. The idea here is to bring to you how to design and structure your presentations and deliver them in the most detailed and structured way, which is why I've created the playlist. So I hope you check that out. I hope you learn something from the entire playlist. And if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, they're very welcome. Please comment them down below. And yes, thank you so much.